Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Dear viewers, I am Dr. C.S. Dikshit. In today's session, I am going to discuss about the independent director, applicability on appointing an independent director, role of an independent director, duties of an independent director, separate meeting of independent director, liability of independent director, appointment of lead independent director and independent directors for better board effectiveness. So viewers, by the end of this session, you would be able to understand number first, to understand the concept of independent director. Number second, to know about role of an independent director. Number third, to understand the duties of an independent director. Number four, to understand the separate meeting of independent director. Number five, to understand the liability of independent director. Number six, to understand the independent directors for better board effectiveness. And number seven, appointment of lead independent director. Number first, that is concept of independent directors. Independent directors play a pivotal role in maintaining a transparent working environment in the corporate regime. Independent directors constitute such category of directors who are expected to have impartial and objective judgment for the proper functioning of the company. An independent director is a non-executive director of a company and helps the company in improving corporate credibility and governance standards. Independent directors act as a guide to the company. The roles broadly include improving corporate credibility and governance standards, functioning as a watchdog, and playing a pivotal role in risk management. Independent directors play an active role in various committees set up by company to ensure good governance. Independent director is a non-executive director of a company who helps the company in improving corporate credibility and governance standards. They does not have any kind of relationship with the company that may affect the independence of his or her judgment. The term independent director has been defined in the Act along with the several new requirements relating to their appointment, duties, role and responsibilities. The provision relating to appointment of independent directors are contained in section 149 of the Companies Act 2013 should be read along with the Rule 4 and Rule 5 of the Companies Appointment and Qualification of Directors Rules 2014. Applicability on appointing an independent director. Every listed company shall have at least one-third of the total number of directors as independent directors. Any fraction contained in that one-third shall be rounded as of 1. Unlisted public company. Number first, the central government may prescribe the minimum number of independent directors in the case of any classes of public companies. As per Rule 4 of Companies Appointment and Qualification of Directors Rules 2014, the following class of companies shall have at least 2 directors as independent directors. Number first, public companies with paid up share capital of rupees 10 crores or more. Number second, public companies with turnover of rupees 100 crore or more. Number third, public companies with aggregate outstanding loans, debentures and deposits exceeding rupees 50 crore. Every independent director shall at first meeting of the board in which he participates as a director and thereafter at the first meeting of the board in every financial year or when a situation arises which affects his status of independence. Next, role of an independent director. Independent directors act as a guide, coach and mentor to the company. The role includes improving corporate credibility and governance standards by working as a watchdog and helping managing risk. Independent directors are responsible for ensuring better governance by actively involving in various committees set up by the company. Number first, facilitate withstanding and countering pressure from owners. Number second, fulfill a useful role in succession planning. Number third, on issues such as strategy, performance, risk management, resources, key appointments and standards of conduct, he must support in gaining independent judgment to bear on the board's deliberations. Number 4, while evaluating the performance of board and management of the company, bring an objective view. Number 5, scrutinizing, monitoring and reporting management's performance regarding goals and objectives agreed in the board meetings. Number 6, safeguard the interest of all stakeholders, particularly the minority shareholders. Number 7, balance the conflicting interest of the stakeholders. Number 8, satisfying themselves that financial controls and systems of risk management are in operation and check on the integrity of financial information. Number 9, in situation of conflict between management and shareholders' interest, aim towards the solution which are in the best interest of the company. Number 10, moderate and arbitrate in the interest of the company as a whole in situations of conflict between management and shareholders' interest. Now, we will discuss duties of an independent director. The independent directors shall, number first, undertake appropriate induction and regularly update and refresh their skills, knowledge and familiarity with the company. Number second, seek appropriate clarification and amplification of information and where necessary, take and follow appropriate professional advice and opinion of outside experts at the expense of the company. Number third, strive to attend all meetings of the board of directors and of the board committee of which he is a member. Number 4, participate constructively and actively in the committees of the board in which they are chairpersons or members. Number 5, strive to attend the general meetings of the company. Number 6, where they have concerns about the running of the company or a proposed action, ensure that these are addressed by the board and to the extent that they are not resolved, insist that their concerns are recorded in the minutes of the board meeting. Number 7, keep themselves well informed about the company and the external environment in which it operates. Number 8, not to unfairly obstruct the functioning of an otherwise proper board or committee of the board. Number 9, pay sufficient attention and ensure that adequate deliberations are held before approving related party transactions and assure themselves that the same are in the interest of the company. Number 10, ascertain and ensure that the company has an adequate and functional vigil mechanism and to ensure that the interests of a person who use such mechanism are not prejudicially affected on account of such use. Number 11, report concerns about unethical behavior, actual or suspected fraud or violation of the company's code of conduct or ethics policy. Number 12, act within their authority. Assist in protecting the legitimate interest of the company, shareholders and its employees. Number 13, not disclose confidential information including commercial secrets, technologies, advertising and sales promotional plans, unpublished price sensitive information unless such disclosure is expressly approved by the board or required by law. Now, we will discuss separate meetings of independent directors. Schedule 6 of the Companies Act 2013 and Regulation 25, Sub-Regulation 3 of SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, LODR Regulations 2015, which provides that number 3, board effectiveness, the independent directors of the company shall hold at least one meeting of independent directors in each financial year, without the attendance of non-independent directors and members of management, and all the independent directors of the company shall strive to be present at such meeting to undertake. Number 1, they will review the performance of non-independent directors and the board as a whole. They will review the performance of the chairperson of the company, taking into account the views of executive directors and non-executive directors. Next, assess the quality, quantity and timeliness of flow of information between the company management and the board that is necessary for the board to effectively and reasonably perform their duties. Now, we will discuss liability of independent directors. Section 149, subsection 12 of the Companies Act 2013 provides that an independent director and a non-executive director, not being promoter or key managerial personnel, shall be held liable only in respect of such acts of omission or commission by a company which had occurred with his knowledge, attributable through board process, and with his consent or convince, or where he had not acted diligently. Now, Regulation 25, Sub-Regulation 5 of SEBI Allodial Regulations 2015, which provides that an independent director shall be held liable only in respect of such acts of omission or commission by the listed entity which had occurred with his knowledge attributable through process of board of directors and with his consent or convince, or where he had not acted diligently with respect to the provision contained in these regulations. Also, in Regulation 25, Sub-Regulation 10, which provides that with the effect from October 1, 2018, the top 500 listed entities by market capitalization calculated as on March 31st of the preceding financial year shall undertake directors and officers insurance, that is D&O insurance, director and officer insurance for all the independent directors of such quantum and for such risk as may be determined by its board of directors. Now, we will discuss independent directors for better board effectiveness. Independent directors are known to bring an objective view in board deliberation. They also ensure that there is no dominance of one individual or special interest group or the stifling of healthy debate. They act as the guardians of the interest of all shareholders and stakeholders, especially in the areas of potential conflict of interest. Independent directors bring a valuable outside perspective to the deliberations. They contribute significantly to the decision-making process of the board. They can bring an objective view to the evaluation of the performance of board and management. In addition, they can play an important role in areas where the interest of management, the company and shareholders make coverage, such as executive remuneration, succession planning, changes in corporate control, audit function, etc. Independent directors are required because they perform the following important role. Number first, balance the often conflicting interests of the stakeholders. Number second, facilitate withstanding and countering pressures from owners. Number third, fulfill a useful role in succession planning. Number four, act as a coach, mentor and sounding board for their full-time colleagues. Number five, provide independent judgment and wider perspectives. Now, in section 149 subsection 6 of the Companies Act 2013, which defines independent director as a director in relation to a company, means a director other than managing director or a whole-time director or a nominee director, in which number A, who in the opinion of the board is a person of integrity and possesses relevant experience and expertise. B, in which number first point, who is or was not a promoter of the company or its holding, subsidiary or associate company. Number second, who is not related to promoters or directors in the company, its holding, subsidiary or associate company. C point, who has or had no pecuniary relationship other than remuneration as such director or having transaction not exceeding 10% of his total income or such amount as may be prescribed with the company, its holding, subsidiary or associate company or their promoters or directors during the two immediately preceding financial years or during the current financial year. Number D, none of whose relatives, number first, is holding any security of or interest in the company, its holding, subsidiary or associate company during the two immediately preceding financial years or during the current financial year, provided that the relative may hold security or interest in the company of face value not exceeding 50 lakh rupees or 2% of the paid up capital of the company, its holding, subsidiary or associate company, or such higher sum as may be prescribed. Number second is indebted to the company, its holding, subsidiary or associate company, or their promoters or directors in excess of such amount as may be prescribed during the 2 immediately preceding financial years or during the current financial year. Point number 3, has given a guarantee or provided any security in connection with the indebtedness of any third person to the company, its holding, subsidiary or associate company, or their promoters or directors of such holding company for such amount as may be prescribed during the 2 immediately preceding financial years or during the current financial year. Or number 4, has any other pecuniary transaction or relationship with the company or its subsidiary or its holding or associate company amounting to 2% or more of its gross turnover or total income singly or in combination with the transaction referred to in subclause 1, 2 or 3. Number E, who neither himself nor any of his relatives, number first, holds or has held the position of key managerial personnel or is or has been employee of the company or its holding, subsidiary or associate company in any of the 3 financial years immediately preceding the financial year in which he is proposed to be appointed, provided that in the case of a relative who is an employee, the restriction under this clause shall not apply for his employment during the preceding 3 financial years. Next, number 2, is or has been an employee or proprietor or a partner in any of the 3 financial years immediately preceding the financial year in which he is proposed to be appointed of A, a firm of auditors or a company secretaries in a practice or a cost auditor of the company or its holding, subsidiary or associate company, or number B, any legal or consulting firm that has or had any transaction with the company, its holding, subsidiary or associate company amounting to 10% or more than gross turnover of such firm. Next, number 3, holds together with his relatives 2% or more than total voting power of the company, or number 4, is the chief executive or director by whatever the name call of any non-profit organization that receive 25% or more of its received from the company, any of its promoters, directors or its holding, subsidiary or associate company, or that holds 2% or more of the total voting powers of the company, or F, who possess such other qualifications as may be prescribed. Now, we will discuss appointment of lead independent director. Internationally, it is considered a good practice to designate an independent director as a lead independent director or senior independent director. The lead independent director is a highly versatile intermediary between the chair, the board and the board's stakeholders. The lead independent director must keep a keen eye on whether the chair is performing the role to the board's satisfaction without losing objectivity or independence. They monitor the relationship between the chair and the CEO and ensure that it is a well-functioning working relationship without becoming too close or powerful. The lead independent director also coordinated the activities of other non-employee directors and advises the chairman on issues ranging from the schedule of board meetings to recommending retention of advisors and consultants to the management. Now, we will discuss role of the lead independent director. Number first, act as a principal liaison between the independent directors of the board and the chairperson of the board. Number second, develops the agendas for and the preside at executive session of the board's independent directors. Number third, advises the chairman of the board as to an appropriate schedule for board meetings, seeking to ensure that the independent directors can perform their duties responsibly while not interfering with the flow of company operations. Next, approves with the chairman of the board the agenda for board and board committee meetings and the need for special meetings of the board. Next, advises the chairman of the board as to the quality, quantity and timeliness of the information submitted by the company's management that is necessary or appropriate for the independent directors to effectively and responsibly perform their duties. Next, recommends to the board the retention of advisors and consultants who report directly to the board. Interviews along with the chair of the Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee all board candidates and make recommendations to the Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee. Next, assist the board and company officers in better ensuring compliance with an implementation of the governance guidelines. Next, serve as a chairman of the board when the chairman is not present and serve as a liaison for consultation and communication with shareholders. So friends, let us summarize this session. We discuss number first, an independent director is a non-executive director of a company and helps the company in improving corporate creditability and governance standards. Number second, independent directors play an active role in various committees set up by company to ensure good governance. Number third, independent directors are responsible for ensuring better governance by actively involving in various committees set up by company. Number 4, independent directors are known to bring an objective view in board deliberation. Number 5, independent directors act as the principal liaison between the independent directors of the board and the chairman of the board. I hope this session would have made your concept for about the independent director, applicability on appointing an independent director, role of an independent director, duty of an independent director, separate meeting of independent director, liability of independent director, appointment of lead independent director and independent directors for better board effectiveness very clear. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you.